What is good, everyone, and welcome back to another video. We are the Minnesota RØKKR. It's off season, yes, so we've been chilling a little bit. But the Vanguard beta came out not too recently. For like what, 4 or 5 days ago.
It's been
what are you guys thinking so far?
At first, it was weird for me, low key. At first, it was weird because of like the movement, the sliding. But like after I got used to it, it was better. It's been growing on me. Like every day I was playing it, I was like, all right, this game's actually getting better for me. That's how I felt.
Yeah. Like the first day that I played, I'm not gonna lie, I was not having a lot of fun. I was actually like, I was actually like, oh my god, like, damn, like, we gotta like, what are we playing here? But the second day, I actually had a ton of fun. Like me and Preston were like playing for like 5 hours. I actually had like good attachments on my gun. Was learning the maps a lot, like a lot more like what cuts the hole. It's obviously just pubs, but second, third day were a lot better. So it's growing on me.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way because I think like going from like a super fast-paced game, like where movement is just like go, 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 and then like transitioning to like a beta where the movement's slower, you're just kind of feeling like, it kind of feels slow, like clunky when you've been playing a super fast game all year. So I just feel like a day or two, it took a little bit of adjusting, but after I'm just like, actually like, I really like this game. And like, just once you get used to the movement, the way the game feels, like every single year with a new game, it takes some time, but I like it.
Yeah, and then it's on the what's called Warzone engine, which is the Modern Warfare engine. And do you guys think it feels the same as Modern Warfare or not? Like, what do you guys think?
It's a little different.
I think it feels very similar. It's not exactly the same, but what is interesting to me is, like, when you were playing Cold War, if you went to go play Warzone, it was 2 different mechanics, right?
So different.
But if you play the beta here for Vanguard and then hop on Warzone, you're still like, you feel warmed up on Warzone almost.
Yeah.
You just slide slower. It's just like the slower.
It's just a slower slide.
And the double sprint, you don't get it back as fast.
Yeah. So the double sprint you don't get back as fast, which I think a lot of people have obviously realized, compared to Warzone and Modern Warfare, where like you would slide cancel and then you'd immediately have your double time back. So like that is like obviously you have to get used to. But yeah, I think it's just its own like, every game has its own like sauce. You just gotta like kind of get down the rhythm of it, and obviously after playing a while, we're all pro players here. We're gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be a lot easier to us. So
yeah, I think the engine is just like,
it's very similar.
it's similar, but like
I think it's similar, but a little bit slower.
is Warzone?
No, it is
Are they gonna
yeah,
transfer
slightly
Warzone
slower.
to like the Vanguard movement eventually? Do you think like?
Yeah, they already announced that.
Oh, they are doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. But
They're
like,
gonna have a new
I
World
feel
War
like
II
the gunplay,
Warzone map.
The gunplay, sometimes you die fast, or sometimes
Yeah.
you're either like you're the one melting them, or they're the one that like melt you. I feel like you always got to be like guns
I
up.
feel like in MW you used to slide cancel a lot in gunfights, and in this game you don't do it as much just because you can't like the double slide isn't as good.
Sometimes you're gonna have to pre-aim.
isn't as good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think pre-aiming is actually like really good in
And
this
bunny
game.
hopping too.
Bunny hopping,
Oh, yeah,
bunny
you go
hop,
flying.
Bunny hop pre-aiming is really good, and then like when you're just trying to get around the map faster, I think sliding is good, and then like maybe on like an object or heady or whatever you slide, but pre-aiming and like double like bunny hopping around corners is I think going to be really.
You're not
good.
going to engage every single time with like sliding or jumping in this game.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes.
There's gonna be a mixture of all 3, like pre-aiming, bunny hopping,
So
sliding.
have you guys put a knife on your class?
Yeah.
No,
Bro,
actually,
you go
I haven't.
so
The knife
fast.
is elite.
You
It's like
fly.
in W.
I haven't actually
you
tried that.
fly with a knife.
Yeah, the knife is.
That's all I do in kill races. I just pull out my knife, start running around the map,
So
get to
that's
their
in
spawn.
like
I actually
the rip,
didn't
you're
think-
gonna
I
pull out a
didn't
knife
do
just
that.
go.
Bro, you're way faster. Like it's noticeably different. It's
Yeah, because I know
crazy.
you're faster with a pistol. Because like I remember like when I was using the default classes, I complained about like I have a Panzer Shrek. I'm like I can't switch to that and start running faster. Like,
Wait, yo, I was playing with Mike and I just passed him. I just seen him with the rocket launcher just shooting it into the building.
I was like, bro, I'm so slow. I have no ammo.
I was like,
He's
you
like,
got him
"What?"
right there.
He's like, yo, I got a one shot in there.
Honestly, running a knife would be really good. Obviously, especially in search, like in a competitive standpoint,
Yeah.
just taking that out on
Get
rush
the
routes.
quick routes. Yeah.
Getting to your spot.
I honestly did not think of that. I didn't even. I mean, I assumed they had a default knife. I just never took one off because it's pubs and like if you run out of ammo, you just swap it the pistol, machine pistol. But yeah. What about?
Oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say the maps. I don't know if you're about to bring that up.
No, I was gonna say time to kill, but we can do maps first.
Oh yeah, maps. I mean, for me, the maps. I think obviously all of them, the ones that we have in the beta, the 4, they're all putting it pretty blunt. Like they're all super average.
Nah, one's
One is Red Star. Yeah, Red Star.
the rest are
Eagles
like
Nest.
that map, bro.
Eagles Nest, I think, has the most potential to be competitive, but I don't even know if it will
I
be.
like the hotel map too.
The hotel map's a different vibe with like the rooftops.
It's just mixy, bro.
Yeah.
Especially in
There's a lot of
all,
corners, too. Like, a
all,
lot
like,
of
the
rats.
closets and the
Yeah.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's super.
There's too
weird,
much
man.
going on. Sometimes.
I think it could be good for.
I think
Hardpoint.
it'd be good for like SND. Like I could see some maps being played on SND
Mm-hmm.
because I was playing those like 6v6 chows, and it's just 6v6 is just too many people on the
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
map.
100%.
But with 4v4, I think a couple of those maps could actually be used, even though they're pretty ratty.
I think Eagle's Nest has the best potential out of the four.
Yeah.
I feel about like Eagle's Nest. I think it could be good at S&D. But I was like looking at like a picture of the map, and it's like
Yeah.
so small
It
that
is
like
really small.
if they put the hard points like on the ends of the map, like the spawns aren't gonna be like on each side. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like
You're
right
gonna be
next to each
spawning
other.
out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think
shit,
Hardpoint.
Like on
Yeah,
each
I don't know.
outskirts. You know what I mean?
It might not be big enough to like
Yeah.
work well in hardpoint because you need to have somewhere like the hills getting
Kinda
capped
like rotate.
and somewhere you're spawning out, but like. I don't know. You don't
know
want to
what I
spawn
mean, right?
too far or spawn too close. Like,
Yeah.
it has to be a balance.
I think we'll test Hardpoint on it, but I think S&D is the mode that will have the most potential. Because like the way I see it, if you lay out the map, there's gonna be like one guy on the left outskirts, one guy on the right outskirts, and the other two probably like working mid with each other.
Yeah, I think SMD
Something like
could be
that,
really
or like a guy
Yeah.
like looking over somebody outskirts with a sub, and he has an AR. So like I think that map has the most potential like competitively, but only for S&D.
I'm excited to see how it would be too without like all the doors and stuff.
And
that you
all
can
the
break down.
windows.
Yeah,
Take them out.
That's a
Take
big.
them
That's
out.
big, especially Eagle's Nest, because the middle map to get there, you have to break down walls and doors, like
Yeah.
And it had a windows
And
too,
windows.
and windows. You just shoot.
And windows.
You shoot out a
The
little
outskirts
spot.
window.
It gives me a rainbow.
Yeah, you literally
Six
shoot out a little
Siege.
spot, and then you just look through the window.
Yeah, no, it is.
But I think
It's like
that was-
Siege.
Yeah, it's literally Siege.
I think the craziest thing about this game is the fact that kind of caught like, everyone off guard at first, and I don't really know if people were excited for this. Was the fact that we went back to World War II again? Because like
Yeah.
Sledgehammer made World at War, the last World War II game. So I'm surprised that they came back with another World War II
Yeah.
game, even though like I feel like that game wasn't really liked by the public, like casual
yeah,
players.
yeah. That aspect, I think, for me, is honestly disappointing because I think with a World War II game, you have to kind of stick true to its nature. Like it's it's in the past. You can't really have much creativity when it comes to like maps
Yeah.
and guns and stuff. But like if we're in a futuristic setting, then you have all the
More
you
options.
can way more options to like be creative with guns and maps and movement. So yeah, that aspect I think is disappointing, but obviously we've had a World War II game before, and even Black Ops 1 was like in the Vietnam setting. So I think it's something that we're like all like familiar with. It's just really about like just having good maps.
I think
Yeah,
this game's gonna be
spawns.
more fun
And
for
spawns.
pubs, though.
Yeah.
Like I think like compared to World
It
War
has
II, I
potential.
think this game it has more potential for like actually like getting on wanting to play pubs or like before scrims like loading into like a 12v12 or 18v18 and just
Yeah.
getting cracked.
The
Just
thing
getting to your screen.
that seems good about this map or this game compared to World War II, because my biggest gripe with that game was for sure they tried to make it too realistic. So it was just like everything was dark, on fire, depressing. That's probably why a lot of people hated it. It wasn't animated. It didn't look good at all.
It was really like black and
Because it
white.
was legit a World War II documentary and a video
Yeah.
game mix. So I feel like with this game, they probably learned a little bit. And that's why the maps are a little more vibrant. They look a little bit better. You're like, they have the Modern Warfare engine. They weren't slide canceling like that back in the day. That's like a new mechanic they use in war today.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm happy
That's
so far.
something that they've like developed over time.
Yeah, like
as soldiers. Right?
in like the
As
2000s,
soldiers.
in
You see all
the
the soldiers
2000s, the
slide
soldiers started learning how to
Boot
slide
camp,
cancel.
like-
No, yeah, you can definitely tell that with like the reds, like it definitely pops out a lot
Yeah.
more than like World War II, because in World War II
Yeah.
the red was like a brown red, like you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially on the
It was just
hotel
burning
map, like
building.
in the lobby
Like-
area and like in the actual midsection of the map, it's like orange and red. And
Yeah.
there's actually more color than what we see on like Arden's Forest or.
We don't know like the third game mode, right, for this year.
Nah.
Yeah, isn't it?
So there was that leak. There was that leak where like it showed like game
Control?
types and stuff. It said control.
Oh really?
Yeah,
So-
Control was in the list.
I
So,
think control. I think control is probably our best bet.
Yeah.
Cause
100%.
Control and Uplink are like the best in my opinion for third game modes.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Like-
CTF's a good
I
game.
think CTF's
mode.
always like a safe one.
CTF's
Yeah,
always
it
a
is.
yeah.
It's always
a safe bet.
if we have nowhere else to go, if we have to play domination,
Yeah.
just give us CTF again.
Yeah,
100%.
Like
Domination is just
I think control is like the best ways to play it. Of course, I would say uplink's the number one, but
suited.
You have to
uplink
have
only works
I
with
think-
jetpacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jetpack for
yeah.
sure.
I think as long as Control is balanced on offense and defense,
Yeah, absolutely.
then I think it should be 100% the third game.
I think
mode.
like
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
If it's not like that's the one thing about Cold War that was different from like Black Ops 4. Obviously Black Ops 4 had specialists and all that, but on defense on a lot of the maps you just had like an advantage, like automatically just by. So if there's like a balance there, I think the game would be a lot more interesting for like, especially from a spectator standpoint. So
Like it kind of needs to be control needs to be like more of a wave type of game mode where you get like waves and then like push up on the map. Like maybe one control point's easier to get than the other one, but then once
that'll be a thing.
the last control point is there, it's super defensively. The offense team has to make a good push. So I think it just all comes down to like the maps for control.
Yeah.
The
Control
maps
this
design.
year and BO4, they're both really good.
Yeah, I liked them.
Like honestly, like there wasn't anything like too bad about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely better than Domination and MW.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dom is just
Definitely better
Dom
than
is
that.
just not a fun like. Dom is just not a game mode where a spectator wants to sit there and watch. Like when you're in a 2-cap and you're not
And you just
forcing
sit
a
there.
play.
Yeah.
It's so campy.
It's just not. It's just not.
It's fun when you're in control and you're winning, but when you're not, you're freaking out.
Yeah, like Petrograd and MW, you're just like running around with dead silence in the top mid building.
Yeah.
Like have a corner,
Just
don't
hearing
get on
everything
the clock.
around you, like, yeah, that's just not fun from like a spectator standpoint. And honestly, like competitive, like obviously it's always fun if you're winning, but
If you're trying to find people in your base and domination,
No,
it's
it's
just like,
so
bro,
annoying.
where is this
you
guy?
have a 1-cap and you're trying to like hit a route for the to make a play.
Now, but speaking on like what spectators like, and this is a big thing that was last year, was that like no snipers in Cold War.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think snipers will be back in Vanguard?
Well, how are the smokes? Because I didn't even try the smoke.
I
Was
tried
there smoke
the
in it?
smokes.
Is it like insane or not?
Honestly, like with the smokes, you like sometimes I'm not gonna lie in SD terms, like I stood a little bit in them and like would try like
You can
one
see
weighing
on it,
people.
yeah.
You can definitely one way a little bit, but it's like definitely a lot more like less like it's not as like
It's not as good as it was last year.
nerdy as like the past year. So I think smokes are alright, but I still don't know if like do we really want to put
I think
them in
people
the
will
game?
be
you know?
very upset if snipers aren't back.
Bro, I feel
Yeah.
like for competitors or like for pros, it's gonna be hard to go back to it just because like
Yeah.
you played it all
Yeah.
last year without snipers. So now
if-
as soon as someone gets sniped, they're gonna be like, bro, we gotta get rid of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my take.
People are gonna get
Personally, I think snipers are good from a spectator standpoint. Me as a competitor, I've always hated snipers. Like one shot kill, hold a tight angle. Yeah, it takes some kind of skill to like be snappy and flashy with it, but I always think I always kind of compare it to
It's kinda
shotguns
annoying.
because
Like-
shotguns are also a one-shot kill. Like
We
I
gotta
think
build on
shotguns
it.
have
We
no
love
place in
snipers.
competitive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be trick shotting them.
We're down. I'm down
Yeah.
for snipers.
I don't snipe the cross. I just go and run out there.
I'm
with a
down for
sniper.
snipers because I have this guy on my team. But if there's no snipers, I'm gonna be completely fine with that because I love search and
Yeah,
destroy
I'm
without
fine with
snipers.
it.
Because like
You
you
just
just have
kind
so
of
much
good, low key.
you have like free reign, but the snipers do feel good. Like the Kar 98 is fun to use.
I feel like the sniping looks weird though. In a way. It just gives me like a weird like the
So
way you
interesting.
aim in.
I forget who. I think it was like someone on
I think it's
Facebook. They
hard
tweeted
to-
a clip of like, does the sniper aim in like super slow in this game, or no?
Which is why I
It
feel
seems
like
like it
snipers
is
could
so
be
far.
good. I
They
feel like
could.
if snipers don't aim
But-
in super fast, just quick scope everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's slower, it would be better for the game.
Here's the other argument though: the time to kill, like you brought up earlier. If the time to kill stays the same, which I think it probably will, like I think that's a hard thing to change because you already have to do like gun balancing for
Yeah.
every gun. If the time to kill stays the same, then I don't think sniping will be as good
Yeah.
because this like guns kill really quick. So like
Yeah.
you could chow a sniper like.
Well, especially if the sniper's aiming in slow, the sniper's
Yeah.
gonna be just sitting there.
You have to
aiming in,
hold.
like-
You have to be really picky and smart with your angles. Which
How do you guys feel about the
I
time
feel like
to kill,
that
though?
takes more skill with the sniper.
How do you guys feel about the time?
Sometimes I swear I was getting zapped.
Yo,
like,
same.
killed, and then there's
You're
sometimes
like, yo,
Same.
this guy's joking.
Especially the
Like,
like for
damn.
some reason the MP40 always for me like I would just get cross mapped by MP40. I'm like, wait, that's a sub. What just happened?
Wait,
Like
you can beam with the MP40.
that gun is nasty.
But like I feel like it takes a lot of bullets sometimes
Yeah.
cross map.
Yeah,
but like
sometimes
up
it does.
close, I feel like sometimes I die and I'm just like, wow, should I have lost that? But then sometimes I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, I'm literally just melting everyone. Like,
I think they did a good job balancing the weapons with each other. Like the ARs are really good at range, like they should be,
Yeah.
but not a crazy good up close.
100%.
Like the MP40 is of course amazing up close and like
Yeah.
decent medium range, but then long range is not that good. Like you have to hit a lot of shots, and by the time someone has an SCG looking at you, like they're gonna kill you most of the time unless they're just whiffing or you're being.
Yeah, what I like-
100%.
What I like in this game, I mean, it's kind of like this in a lot of CODs, but I feel like just from me, my experience playing so far, like you have to kind of tap like long range,
Yeah.
which I like. They kind of like burst your gun long
Yeah.
range to hit those shots,
Well, we
which
also
I
don't
always
have
think
all
is
the-
like.
we also don't have all the attachments yet. Though,
Yeah,
so you
that's
never know.
so that's true. Yeah, with all the attachments, it might not be like that, but I think there's like kind of like a skill gap in a way there, because like some players aren't going to be as disciplined to like tap or burst their gun long range to like have like really good recoil. They might just be spraying, like trying to get the kill. And I think if you spray like far range with even an AR, it's not that good. But I mean, obviously with the right attachments, that could change. But I like the tapping, like,
Takes more skill.
bursting aspect, like hit
I
those
did
shots.
make a class that was just straight for recoil, and the SCG like from across the map, it kind of wasn't moving, bro.
Yeah, so obviously with
but
the
it
right
does-
attachments, that
But
could
it does
change.
aim in super slow though, so it's like you gotta pick one of the other.
Yeah, that's and here another thing about the attachments. Like for me, I think you have a lot of versatility. Like with like you can even have like I think the STG, the class that I've been using. I don't know the exact attachments or like what they're called. There's so many, but the class that I've been rocking, like there's a little bit of strafe there too. So it's like the recoil is not bad, and like you can kind of strafe a bit, which I think is a really good balance.
I mean,
so I think it just depends on the player.
The past couple of years, we haven't had a strafe on AR.
No, yeah. I think I absolutely with a strafe, I like that's the best kind of AR gameplay for me. But yeah, we'll have to see like how the like attachments develop. I'm sure there's gonna be classes that over time, like people are gonna use like whatever they want, but then a meta always sets in.
2-3 months in at least. For
A meta always sets in.
How did you guys feel about the subs? Like, was the MP40 the best? Like, 'cause I didn't try all of them.
I think the Thompson is good up
Thompson's
close. You can melt, but then I also feel like the MP40, like going off like the strafing, like I think like the MP40, like I feel like this game is like a right stick game in a way. Like you hit your movement obviously, but then when you're actually aiming, I think this game's like a lot of like right stick. The way you like actually shoot at people or like try to aim, at least for me, like, and that like gives me more of like MW vibes because I feel like in Cold War like you would kind of set up for your gunfight. Sometimes you'd be strafing, but then like when you're actually shooting at someone, you need more right stick control.
Yeah, I feel like the Thompson has like a really good fire rate and it's like really good up close. But when it gets to like range, the MP40 is like way better than it, and it's like pretty much just as good up close too. So like it's just far and away better than the Thompson in my opinion right now.
I saw a clip Minnesota tweeted out actually of you with the other guy.
Oh, the Standy?
Yeah.
Oh, I tried that.
I was just bored. I was
little
just
mag inside.
Yeah, I was just bored using it.
so weird.
I don't think I had any attachments on it yet, so I was just ringing it up. I was like, bro, like,
That's hilarious.
I'm like, yo, let me try this gun out because everyone says it's a pea shooter or something. Like, let me find out for myself. But it was decent.
It was just those 3 subs, right?
Yeah, it's just those 3 right now.
Okay. I wonder how many more they're gonna add. Like, you think they're
Probably
gonna
like 2, 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually like 5 to like start around there.
And I've used the bar, I've used the STG, I've used like the NXT, the Volk.
Volk, yeah.
I think all of them are actually
They are.
pretty good. Like as long as you hit your shots, like they're all good. I think the most consistent one for me was probably the STG or the bar. I think the bar is probably the best because of like in a competitive like standpoint because it's like just kills faster. But like for pubs, the SCG was better just because I had 10 more bullets.
So the bar just kills in like 3 bullets from like every
Yeah, but
single
it's like a little like isn't it like a little slower than the SCG
shoots
like
super
aiming
slow.
in or like the fire rate
So I
too?
think the
It's
STG
like,
and
it's like
STG and bar
doof.
are probably the top 2. But the Volk and the NX or
I got some
the
crazy clips
NZT or
of
the
Volk, bro, I'm not
NXT
gonna
or
lie.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty
I
good.
forget what the other one is.
NZXT?
I don't know.
It's one of
I didn't
those.
either.
I don't know. That shit's it
Yeah,
actually.
NC40 or something?
Yeah, it reminds. We're probably all wrong.
I'm trying to think of the name.
But it's weird because like the iron sight on that gun reminds me of the Razorback from Black Ops 3 for some reason.
The one you aim down.
Because it's
That's a
like
really
a
nice
weird.
aim-
It's
iron sight.
it's a nice iron sight. So like I don't know.
Circular
Over
with
time,
the
that could be the gun. Yeah.
But speaking of strong guns and all the OP stuff, do you think there's anything off the top that we think is automatically on the GA list? Before we go in, like, is there anything you're like, wow, this
Well,
is
yeah, we were
ammo.
talking about earlier
Ammo
ammo
maps.
types. Like ammo types are obviously gone.
Yeah, ammo types.
Some
like
of
subsonic?
Subsonic.
the corny,
else is
cheesy
there?
ones, get those out of here. We already know that.
I think like some of the perks are a little bit weird. Not weird, but like, I mean, we're gonna have to see. But
What about the radar perk?
Yeah, they're
Honestly,
just,
I only
like,
tried like 3 perks. So I didn't really
Yeah, I just throw on the radar.
There's definitely gonna be perks that are gated like every
double
year.
time.
Yep, double time.
But then actually on the gun attachments, there's like a what is it like the proficiency or like
Proficiency?
Like
Is that like the melee thing?
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
like you can have like basically like Commando Pro. You have
Yeah.
like a longer melee. So
Yeah.
like
There's,
those
like-
things we're gonna have to discuss.
What are those
probably.
things called? Is that like a
Perk?
The
Oh, no, it's an
on
attachment.
the gun, like on the attachment.
No, there's like
Yeah,
there's like
it's
the
an
FMJ and all that, and
Yeah.
then there's
I forgot
another
what it's
one.
called.
We haven't
They were
seen
called
those.
perks
We haven't seen those in any.
I just been
copy.
running
Yeah,
FMJ.
I forgot.
Yeah,
what
same.
game
That's
it
what I
was.
was throwing
I
out.
forgot. But what do you guys think about auto attack sprint in this game?
So I
Let's
have.
run it.
So
I don't know.
honestly, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to talk about that. I'm gonna be teaching fools.
Listen,
I'm down.
it's
for
gonna be a
whatever,
big discussion. It's gonna be
It's gonna be an interesting discussion.
It's gonna be a big
because-
one in the Twitter DM.
Okay, I could be completely wrong,
Yeah.
but in this game, I don't think auto attack is as good as people say.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it should be allowed.
So if people
No,
want
it's-
to run it,
I feel like that's what I think it should be allowed.
I don't think people should be able to run it.
I don't think-
honestly,
okay.
I'm down for either.
Sauce shouldn't be free. I keep saying it. You have
It
players.
isn't,
Yeah, that's
it
true.
isn't as good in this game, I feel
But
like.
it isn't as good, so I'm not mad if people. Okay, I'm still gonna be mad if people want to run it, but like I won't be pissed.
Okay.
Like,
No,
'cause
honestly,
I think auto attack can. Hey, I'm not gonna get into details of why I think, but
But it'd be making ARs speed up.
it'd be
way
making
faster,
AR
you know
speed
what I mean?
up. That's true. So
Yeah.
it's like there's definitely like two different sides of the spectrum of like. Yeah, it could be used, or it could, not benefit you in some situations. I have my opinions about it. I never think auto attack should be allowed. Obviously, people have to, they don't want to break their controllers. We're all pro players, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to left stick, then we'll get someone else who can,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
Well, people were using it at first, right? Because they thought the movement felt weird.
I was
right?
just using it
Yeah.
because I was playing Warzone.
All that
so then
too.
kinda
I
transferred
did
into-
use
I've been using it the whole time.
no, the first day I threw it on. Everybody was using it, and what was it? The second day I stopped using it, just because I don't think. I feel like it just mess you up in certain situations.
It's just all in your playstyle, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're coming around, like, walking slow.
Yeah,
then
because
that's gonna
like the way I
benefit
see
you,
it, if you're in like
yeah.
a situation where you're trying to like pivot two angles, like you're trying to predict, like I can't like lay out the map, but if you're just like in a finesse area where you're going like left and right, left and right, left and right, like your gun just keeps coming up.
Yeah, it
like, you're
goes
gonna-
up
like
like
you
that.
can't like
Yeah.
sprint preem. And
Like
it
TJ
keeps
Haley
coming
versus
up.
you guys on our club SND in the finals. You guys remember
Yeah,
that?
like his gun kept
It was
coming up.
1v1 versus him and Celium, and he was on the bomb.
It's actually crazy you bring that up because like that's honestly not a bad
And
like.
he had auto attack on.
Yeah,
That's
so, like,
why
his
he
gun-
like
his gun
lost.
kept
His gun
coming
kept
up.
running up.
But if-
and
yeah.
Celium was like,
if
down
he
to the
kept
spot,
pivoting
shot
like
him.
left and right, and preeming, like he's not gonna get caught off
Yeah,
guard.
that's
Yeah.
one thing I don't like about auto attack. Where like if you are running, like it just pulls up.
And
up.
like you have to like
You can't really
preem
control.
down. You have to like preem down instead of like
Yeah.
preeming up,
It's
which is
just better
faster.
I feel like it's better for respawn than S&D, because S&D sometimes you want to like
Yeah,
walk around.
yeah.
100%. That's why like
Respawn is fun.
I think the
S&D,
best thing
maybe you
about
just take it off.
Yeah, SND, it's like, it's not that beneficial, I think, but I think in respawn it is good. Probably the best
You're always
time
on the move.
with auto attack sprint is when like you're trapped in a corner. Let's say you're one shot, and then like you just
Yeah.
auto attack. You just are
Auto attack out of
you're
the corner.
into sprint. So like you just
Yeah.
get forward and insta sprinting.
Yeah.
So you kind of like still have a chance to like win the gunfight.
And it was like that
Crazy
in
shit.
MW too. Like
Yeah.
if you were trapped in a corner.
Like it would give you like the best advantage. Like I was gonna get the kill, but you
I
might
know.
get one
That's
extra
gonna be
bullet
a-
off, or like get a finesse, and you might get away for a couple extra seconds. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, I think that's probably the best thing with having auto attack sprint.
About auto attack.
Like
Yeah.
personally, I don't mind either. Like honestly, when the game comes out, the vision I see is it might be allowed, but probably I feel like people are just not gonna run it, which I don't really mind. But like from a COD or like a player standpoint, I just get a little bit annoyed that like every like 2 games we've had like this new mechanic where it's like we have to double press up, and I just feel like it's just like going back from like how CODs usually are, where you're just pressing up once. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's a little extra in a way.
Yeah.
I just personally would rather have a
think-
game
Yeah,
where
I
you just press
spam
up
it
once. It's like
over and over. Just go.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very heated, interesting discussion.
I
a
think-
long
I think
discussion.
what would be godlike if double time was like the auto sprint for it, like the auto attack sprint almost. So like if you click it once and you have double time on, you go instantly into your double sprint.
Okay.
And then you keep it though, like so every time you say you stop, and then you click it again. you
Not
go to
yet.
double
Like those are all good ideas. It's the
But I
thing
don't
is
know.
like it's so. I feel like
it's like annoying.
as a developer, like trying to adjust mechanics after the game's already been built. I feel like they never do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like that's a shot in the dark, but that'd be a good addition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So overall, we talked about the maps, guns, GA list, auto attack sprint, all
time
that.
to kill.
What would you
Wait, missing.
give the beta out of like 1 out of 10? What would you guys rate the beta?
7 out of
overall?
10?
Like your
For
enjoyment
a
of it.
beta, honestly, I'd probably say like a 7.5 or something around there.
7.5. Yeah.
Usually
Probably
beta-
8.
Yeah, usually betas I feel like are a little bit worse. Like at first,
Yeah.
like I didn't like it, but it grew on me.
Do they
so I'd
plan on to
probably
add
almost
any more
an 8.
maps or levels? Have they even done
I don't think so because it ends I think on Wednesday, which
Wednesday,
is
yeah.
like
They,
a
'cause they
day and a
extended it
half.
2 days.
So
So if
usually
they
they
were
would
gonna add
add it by
anything,
now.
yeah, if they were gonna add anything, it probably would have been like now, like
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was pleasantly surprised though with the beta because I didn't really know what to expect going into it,
Yeah.
just off like what we saw and heard. But it actually did kind of grow on me.
Yeah.
I think the maps,
Yeah, it
like, I don't know if these maps are gonna be competitive, but at least they're like different than like the ones we've seen in the past. So
Well, we also have,
I
like-
do think they can make some good ones. There's 12 more coming in.
12. Like,
I got hope.
We have
I got hope.
we have
for some good maps.
a lump sum coming in, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's bound to be like what, at least 2 or 3.
There has to be like 3 or 4 good maps.
Like, please.
Like just the way like they made the what is it, hotel? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Just like the way that
Hotel
map
Royale.
looks just gives me like a lot of hope because this is like it looks
Yeah.
cool. Like you're just playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I like the maps. I just feel like sometimes like I love all the details and everything they add to the maps, but I feel like sometimes like there's a lot of like corners, a lot of like
It's a lot of
spots.
stuff
Like it's really realistic, which I definitely like what they're trying to do with it. But like at least from a competitive standpoint, or even like a pub player standpoint, like you want to just make sure you're familiar with the map. You don't want too much going on. You want to keep it like
Simplicity.
simple. Yeah.
You need a good hardpoint system too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good hardpoint system.
That's gonna be a big thing, seeing hardpoint brought in and like where the hills are and how the spawns are with that, because that's
Yeah.
always
Hopefully there's not squad spawn.
disaster. I don't know.
I mean, if there is, we've already played a whole year with it.
Yeah.
But
I'll be so.
But we
shook.
did play the whole year 5v5, so I wonder how squad spawns and 4v4 would play out.
that's true.
It's gonna be interesting because like
Yeah.
I don't even
More
know what to
sensitive.
like predict it, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the
Wait, did you
Vanguard
rate
beta.
it? You
You gave it an 8.
Yeah, I think I'll
so
give it like a 7.8
I'm like around that too.
because like usually
7.5,
betas
8.
get like old, but I'm actually having a lot of fun just doing kill race wagers and stuff. So I want to go play.
This beta definitely grew on me.
Except for Red Star, that map's not growing
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
Mine is Red Star. You might give it a 9.
Yeah, I might give it a
Honestly,
9. if it
when
didn't
I'm
have
on Red Star Patrol, spawn trapping them in that corner, I'm having fun.
I feel
But
like
if
Red-
I'm in the
They
spawn
just gotta
trap,
make it stop snowing, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
all those
yeah,
But it's like hard to see on that map.
Yeah,
Everything- it's like
snow
snow,
flurries,
but then it's
yeah,
like dark.
gray.
In the hallways, it's like so dark.
The map is just like grayish.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, when I loaded into Red Star, I was like, okay, this is probably my most favorite game of all time. Just kidding.
For sure.
I was like, I'm quitting.
for sure.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I think 7.5, like 7/8 across the board.
Yeah.
Something like that. Decent.
Yeah.
But when the game drops, we're gonna love it all as much as we
Solid
can.
beta.
Take it all in.
Waking up with a purpose.
Waking up
You
with
know
the
what I
person, we appreciate it. We want to learn.
With the
Become the
game
best.
out, 10 out of 10.
And that's gonna do it for us. So thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our little talks about the Vanguard beta. Hopefully you
sir.
guys enjoyed it as well. If you didn't, hopefully the full game's better. But we'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Peace.